Hi there, I'm Simon Saloom. I'm here to give you a market update. We are in March 2021, and we're going to look at year-to-date activity and how it compares over the various neighborhoods we're going to discuss. We're going to begin with Santa Monica, Brentwood, and the Pacific Palisades, as I usually do, and sort of dig in. Is the market as awesome as everyone is saying? Is it as stressful for buyers as everyone's talking about? And we're going to get to that. This data is directly from the multiple listing service, so it's really clean and it's legit. So Brentwood went from 114 million last year, this time, to 160 million this year. So that's a pretty big jump for Brentwood. Santa Monica is even at 100 million or so. The Pacific Palisades, incredible change. Went from 80 million last year to 230 million. That's a big jump, and that's great. That's just great news for the Pacific Palisades. And we're going to see that these jumps in sales volume correlate to jumps in median sale price. That's pretty good too. So we're going to get to that right now. Brentwood was at 3 million in 2020, and now Brentwood is at 3.7 million. So that's a pretty big jump. That's pretty fantastic. And since there's so much more sales volume, we know it's pretty credible. Now, Santa Monica, this is the first time I've seen Santa Monica at such a high median sale price. It doesn't mean that values have jumped so much, but it means that the higher end homes are closing in Santa Monica right now, and that's great news because it was around 2.7 most of the time for the past 2 or 3 years. Right now, this time last year it was at 2.6, and 2021 to date, it is at 3.4 million. So the higher end stuff is moving now in Santa Monica, and that's great news because for all three of these neighborhoods, the higher end was susceptible to more intense negotiation now than it is right now. And now the Palisades was at 2,750,000 this time last year, and it went up to 3.6 million this year. That's a great thing, and I really do think that values have come up. They're definitely a lot better for higher end homes. So condos in Santa Monica, Brentwood, and the Pacific Palisades, they are more or less flat. They're not as exciting to look at as what happened with single family homes, but they're definitely not down, and I think the market's coming up for them. The values are up a little bit compared to 4 or 5 months ago, and the sales volume is up a little bit, nothing dramatic, but 20-30% here and there. Out of the three neighborhoods, there was $80 million in sales of condos last year, this time, and this year we're at about 100 million. So 20% or whatever increase, which is fantastic. Median sale prices are relatively even. I don't see any major changes. There's been a little bit more of the higher end condominiums and townhouses in the Palisades selling, so the median sale price is up slightly, maybe 100,000, but it's about the same. So I hope this was interesting to you. Now you know the market is pretty awesome. It's amazing for single family homes in most neighborhoods. There's not a lot of inventory in the lower end neighborhoods, and condos are doing a little bit better than they were last year, and they're still good and strong, and I think people are more open to purchasing them now. So anyhow, Simon Saloom, Westside Simon, thanks.